Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. Today is August the 13th. Dun dun dun. Well, knock on wood, hopefully nothing bad happens. Just be careful out there. 2024. Just chilling here with my co-host, Lammy Chillmeister. So, I know this is old news, but I want to talk about it anyways. Three weeks old. So, RFK and Trump had a conversation after the Trump assassination attempt. Supposedly a leaked phone call. Now, I'm iffy about that. First of all, the angle that it's at, RFK, if he can't tell that he was being recorded, then something is wrong. Which he did have a brain worm, so. I do love RFK, though, and I'm voting for him. But I can talk shit if I want. So on this leaked phone call, go check it out yourself, because obviously I'm recording from a phone. I'm not able to screen share and shit. I don't even know if that's possible on a cell phone. Especially with this. This is a basic $150 phone, you know. It's an upgrade from what I had, but it is what it is. It's basic podcasting is what I use it for, and obviously listening to podcasts and text and call and all that jazz. But on this phone call, Trump and RFK were catching up, and talking about the assassination attempt. Trump starts backtracking on the vaccine. Now, this whole situation is irritating to me. Trump could have just been honestly just talking about the vaccine, because he obviously, RFK is super anti-vax, and I don't even think he's really anti-vax. He's just, well, I don't know, he's pretty anti-vax. Which is one of the reasons why I wanted to vote for him, you know. I've just gotten to the point I call myself anti-vaccine, even though I'm not. I'm just anti-experimental gene therapy. I've actually, last vaccine I took was 2017 or 2018. I took a hepatitis A vaccine. Perfectly fine as far as I know, you know. Didn't feel any weird side effects, nothing like that. So I'm not even anti-vax, but if that's what they want to call me, I will wear it proudly. But yeah, Trump's backtracking and shit, which there's nothing wrong with flip-flopping in politics. I don't see that as an issue. There's a lot of people that do for some reason, which is really strange to me. I always hear talking politics with people of oh, I don't like so-and-so because they're a flip-flopper. I'm like, isn't that a good thing, though? As a human being, shouldn't you grow and change your perceptions on certain issues and stuff like that? I've, throughout my lifetime, have flip-flopped. I mean, back when I was younger, in high school, I thought communism was a good thing. I was an anarchist. I believed in censorship as far as political correctness. I was anti-abortion, though, which was really weird. I was pro-political correctness, but anti-abortion. So I was super conservative on certain things and super liberal on other things. And I've flip-flopped on just about everything that I believed back when I was in high school. Now I'm completely against censorship. I believe you should say be allowed, not say, but you should be allowed to say whatever the fuck you want. If you want to say the N-word, say the N-word. If you want to say faggot, say faggot, you know? Yeah, I don't see flip-flopping as a bad thing. But it does show you that Trump is very snaky because, okay, Trump back in the day used to be anti-vax. Then when he got presidency, he does shit like Operation Warp Speed. Not firing Fauci. Why did you not fire Fauci? And this gets into what I talked about with Trump before, that he surrounds himself with like the most corrupt, evil people. Like Rudy Giuliani, who's behind 9/11, one of the people behind 9/11. He just surrounds himself with the most shady, sketchy motherfuckers. He is either like retarded or he's shady. He's a shady motherfucker too. But yeah, like, so he has flip-flopped twice now. Because in the conversation with RFK, he's like, yeah, I don't like what happened with the vaccine. And it's like, well, then why didn't you do something? You were president of the United States, commander-in-chief. You could have fired Fauci. You could have not done Operation Warp Speed. Like, I don't understand what is so confusing about that. I voted for Trump for his second term, you know, but there are things, woman, if you hit my car, I swear to God, she's like driving forward. Anyways, fuck me, dude. What am I saying, dude? This is what sucks about filming in a parking lot, but it is what it is. I get plenty of privacy here for the most part I don't like recording in front of people like my mother-in-law and my wife and shit. I know it sounds weird, but unless my wife is a co-host, then I don't mind. It's like either join the conversation or get away from me. Yeah, like you were the father of the vaccine. You literally were telling people to take the vaccine. And you tell this to Trump supporters, they go, no, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. It's like, yes, it fucking did. I remember he did like multiple speeches telling, I got the vaccine. It was good. It was good. You should get it too. If you don't want to take it, it's okay. But I'm telling you, you should take it. You know, that sounded a little more like Fauci than it did Trump. But I'm not the best at impersonations, but... And you bring this up, that's why I'm not voting Trump, you know, because of Operation Warp Speed, because of the banning of bump stocks, because he didn't fire Fauci, because he didn't pardon Julian Assange or Edward Snowden. Like, there's multiple reasons why I'm not voting Trump, dude. It's like I didn't have an argument, but there's a contrarian that I work with. He's a good dude. He disagrees with you on everything. I said, yeah, fuck Trump for infringing on the Second Amendment of banning bump stocks. And he's like, well, that was overthrown. Okay, it was overthrown. Whatever. It's the point he tried to ban it. What part of that do you not understand? It's not that complicated. He tried to ban it. Infringe on the Second Amendment. I'm a constitutionalist. Don't fuck with the Constitution, man. Well, it was overthrown, so it doesn't matter. Yes, it does matter. His intent still matters. You know, that would be like if I went up to you and tried to rob you at gunpoint and the cops showed up and shot me dead. And then someone went, you know, like, and you were like, dude, that motherfucker tried to rob me. And then my wife standing next to me, my dead body, goes, well, the cops showed up and shot him dead. So you would still have the right to be like, that motherfucker tried to rob me, you know? And honestly, the whole conversation, RFK, I do have to say this, man. I know he's in Alcoholics Anonymous, and I've always said that Alcoholics Anonymous, because I'm a member, makes you like a better person. I've always said that even if you're not an alcoholic, that everyone should read the big book, because there's multiple different 12-step programs. They're all based off Alcoholics Anonymous. You have Narcotics Anonymous. Roseanne Barr, I was listening to her and RFK, actually, speak of the devil. RFK was talking about, he used to have a heroin addiction, and he was talking about the origin of Alcoholics Anonymous. It's an awesome interview. You should check it out. Roseanne Barr's podcast is amazing. I know I talked shit about it like 2 episodes ago, but I still love Roseanne and I love her podcast, which someone did comment on that. Imagine hate listening to something. I'm like, okay, like I've hate listened to a lot of shit. Like, I wasn't offended or nothing by the comment, but yeah, that's a thing, hate listening. Like, I listen to Roseanne Barr's podcast because I love Roseanne Barr, and I do enjoy her podcast. She gets into a lot of dope ass conspiracy shit, but she does have, it's not the entire podcast, but she does have episodes where she focuses on QAnon or Israel. She's super pro-Israel, which she's a Jew. It makes sense. I just disagree with her on those two things. Like, if me and Roseanne were hanging out, I'll never be able to get on her podcast, but I could sit there and talk about Nazis in Antarctica, UFO, MK Ultra, CIA, 9/11. I could talk all sorts of conspiracy shit with her, but once she starts bringing up Israel, Palestine, and QAnon, like, that's the only thing that I would be like, dude, I totally disagree with you on all of that shit. Operation Trust, The Israelis are massacring Palestinians over there. It is a controlled genocide. But I think RFK, the whole point I was making was he's part of Alcoholics Anonymous, and it does make you a better person. And you can just tell the whole time he's just listening. Trump almost was assassinated. He's such a, I don't know, I know I'm sucking RFK's dick, whatever. I don't care. It just shows you, like, his character, that the whole time he's just like, yeah, just listening. And I don't know, man, you can tell that Trump is like, just loves the sound of his own fucking voice, which I do too. That's why I have a podcast. That's why I'm sitting in a car talking to you. No, I just drink a lot of coffee, and I've always been a chatterbox, and I'm like, how could I monetize this, and how can I get this out of my system at least once a day, My wife, I drive her nuts. Sometimes I know she wants to say, can you just shut up? But Trump brought up the 38 vaccine schedule on newborns and shit, or babies in general, that they get like 38 shots, and it's like, that is ridiculous, and that they come out, different. And it's like, yeah, that's not good, man. Which I found this phone call through a guy named David Pakman. I kid you not, his last name is Pakman. That dude can suck a dick. He is such a fucking idiot. I don't know if you guys know him. I don't care if it's shots fired, What a piece of garbage, dude. Like, super fucking liberal. He's like, see, Trump is super anti-vax, and him and RFK are spreading this misinformation about babies being changed after 38 shots. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot of stories of that. I have a nephew who literally has autism, and the mother is like anti-vax now because he was a normal baby. like coherent, babbling, blah, 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 super aware of his surroundings, learning. And she said after he got jabbed up, he just, not trying to be mean, but is like, was like not aware of his surroundings, just like completely mute. Like he wouldn't talk and shit anymore. He was just like a baby like this. Like creepy shit, man. And now he has autism and like won't take showers. Has anger issues. Like he will literally fight his parents, like physically fight them and shit, which he's a big boy, like, and he's not even that, he's like in middle school and he's already like taller than me and like twice my size. I don't know if he's taller than me, but he's big, dude. Like if he wanted to fight me, I could take him down because I'm a mean son of a bitch and I'm actually stronger than I look because I'm a night stalker. And I'm slightly ripped. But, he would put up a fight. Like, I could kick his ass, but he would put up a fight. He'd get a couple licks in on me and shit, or if he got me in a headlock where I have had my neck broken and I'm an older dude, like, he could put up a good fight. But yeah. Hang on just a second. So, Trump did say something interesting in this phone call. He said, we're going to win. We are going to win. There's a lot of ways you could take this. And this is why I brought up that Roseanne RFK podcast. Go listen to that. I'm telling you, it's worth your time. They get into like MK Ultra, CIA, like conspiracy shit, Alcoholics Anonymous talk. They get into a lot of deep convos, a good conversation. But in the podcast, she asked RFK, it was either her or her son, which is her co-host, asked RFK, like, hey, how come you don't run as vice president for Trump? Or why didn't you? Or will you? Which, by the way, are they able to switch Vance out for RFK, like, last second? I don't know on the rules of that. Like, is that possible? Is that okay? Let me know in the comments if you know. But, what the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, he said, we're gonna win. And a lot of people are taking that as RFK is gonna be vice president instead of Vance. Well, nominee, I should say. I don't know. I think that Trump and RFK don't see each other as enemies. I truly do. RFK does not like Trump. He said in old interviews he doesn't like Trump. He thinks he's pretty much, pardon my French, but a smug asshole, basically, saying it nicely. Which Trump is. He's a gangster. If RFK ran as vice president, because RFK's not going to win. I've already said this 1,000 times, and I told you guys my lineup. From when the presidential race began, it was DeSantis. I know. He sucks on his censorship of speech against Israel and the Jews, and he is ex-Guantanamo Bay jailer, which is scary. Meaning he could be a psychopath. But I like what he did during the COVID lockdowns with Florida. And I'm a Florida boy, so there is bias there. It was DeSantis, then Vivek Ramaswamy. Then Vivek Ramaswamy dropped out, DeSantis dropped out. Then it was like RFK. And if for some reason RFK loses or drops out or something, well, he will lose. It is what it is. And people say, I had an argument with someone the other day of like, RFK is going to lose, so what's the point in even voting for him? And it's like, well, with that attitude, like, you could say the same about Trump. They stole the election last time and got away with it, so what's the point of even voting for Trump? just in case, you never know. If RFK actually won, that would be fucking amazing. And why does it matter? That's another thing too, that I kept asking this guy and he could not answer it. I said, why do you care if I vote for RFK? I already know he's going to lose. So why do you care? If there's no point in, like, what bothers you about me getting up early on voting day, wasting my time and gas? I work third too, so I'm wasting sleep that I could be sleeping, going to the poll, waiting in line, throwing away a useless vote. Why do you care? It's my time. My time and energy is being wasted. Who cares? You know? It makes me happy. That's the only thing I can say. It makes me happy. It makes me feel like I'm exercising my right as an American, which you should too, you know? Why does it bother you? You know, I think it's a waste of time for people to go to church on Sundays. But if it makes them happy and it makes them a better person, it's not hurting me. I can sleep in. Doesn't bother me. Do what you want. But if he ran as vice president, if that's the plan. Oh, by the way, that's what I was going to bring up. When he was asked that in Roseanne Barr's podcast, he was like, oh, I can't really talk about that. And her son was like, oh, like there was some secret phone calls or what's going on? And he's like, I just can't talk about it. So there is the conspiracy that RFK knows he's going to lose. He knows that he's not going to be president. So there is a conspiracy, if it's even possible. I don't know for sure. I'm still learning. I don't know everything. I'm not God. But maybe they'll switch Vance out for RFK. Because, dude, Trump and RFK ticket, I would vote. If RFK sadly dropped out, which would bother me, I'd rather see Trump as his VP, but that'll never happen with Trump's ego. I wanted to see that long ago. I would vote Trump RFK ticket over Biden or Kamala Waltz. Obviously, they're the fucking Antichrist. But people are like saying there is the conspiracy that this was purposely leaked. I'm actually kind of leaning in that direction because, like I said, go watch the video. RFK knew he was being recorded. He wasn't secretly being recorded. Like, there's ways to secretly record someone. Like, there's all these creeps that go around doing upskirt photos of girls and shit. Like, I know it's a weird example, but it's true. Like, you can hold it down by your waist and like lean it upwards, you know, with the screen facing away, so that way they can't tell you're recording them. I'm sure there's software that you could record a conversation with your screen being black as a voice recorder or something if you'd rather do it that way. He's not stupid. He knows he's being recorded. And that's another thing that bugs me. Like, maybe it's just me, but I'm a real paranoid fucking person. Which I've told you guys about that before. I have really bad paranoia. That's why I take L-theanine and ashwagandha, which is what you just seen me take. L-theanine. I take an ashwagandha, then I sit down, eat a meal, and then I take an L-theanine because I don't want to get sick taking that shit on an empty stomach. I know when I'm being recorded, and I don't fucking like it either. Like, I've had people, like my wife, and I'm not being mean or nothing, but I've had her come up and like either record me or take a picture of me while I'm in the middle of on the phone or shit like that. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing? You know? Oh, I just wanted to get a picture of you. Like, I think you're cute. You know, you're talking to your brother or whatever. Then I'll be like, oh, okay. And then I'll like, you know, smile or whatever. But like, I don't know. I'm just weird about shit like that. Not that I have anything to hide, but I am that kind of douchebag who would be in the street if somebody was recording me going, hey, what are you doing? And if they said, oh, I'm exercising, you know, my First Amendment right, I'd go, okay, that's cool. But why do you have to record me? You know, well, you're being, if they wanted to do that shit, I wouldn't start a fight with them. I'd just go, okay. And I'd just stand there or maybe do a dance, or I would get, actually, what I really would do would be shout out my podcast. I'd be like, all right, since you're recording me and you're probably going to post this on YouTube because you're a First Amendment auditor or whatever, I'd be like, go check out Conspiracy Corner Podcast. It's on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify. You know, might as well get a free publicity out of it. But I wouldn't fight the dude or nothing. But RFK, to act like he didn't know he was being recorded and he was mortified that it got out, like, I don't know about all that. You knew you were being recorded. It was pretty fucking obvious. So I believe in that conspiracy. Now, why would he put it out there? There is a part of me that RFK is his political opponent. So I do believe that he did want it out there because he's like, look, this guy's a flip-flopper. He's acting like he's anti-vax on a personal call with me, but, you know, he was father of the vaccine, Operation Warp Speed, never fired Fauci. Is this a guy you want to vote for? Someone who behind closed doors is anti-vax, and out in public he's telling people to get the vax and pro-vax and shit and calling himself the father of the vaccine? Like, is this somebody you want to vote for? So I don't know. That's my opinion on it. But it was removed, and it's still out there, obviously. This might have turned into a whole fucking episode just on its own. So hang on just a second. Let me see if we got one more subject we can talk about. Honestly, we're just going to end it with some small talk, blue pill stuff, because I always try to hit a 30-minute mark. And where I actually went longer than I thought I would just on that one conversation, I'm going to keep it at 30 minutes. I don't want to get into something else and then turn it into a 45-minute or hour long because it's harder to upload and shit. So I'll just talk a little small talk. Man, my teeth are hurting on this left side. Years ago, I'm losing teeth on this side. I'm missing 3. I got 1 tooth hanging on right there. It fucking blows getting old. What's funny though, it's my spirit animal is rabbit. So if I do lose teeth on this side, because it's like 2 or 3 of them, I'll end up literally looking like a rabbit, which is insane. But years ago when I was a really bad alcoholic, I was doing airplane shots, and I couldn't get one open because the caps are metal and the seal is metal. And I went like this and bit down on it and like tried to turn it like that. And it ended up slashing like 3 of my teeth to the point like it slashed them. And now anytime I have anything sweet, anything cold, it fucking kills that side of my mouth. So I have to go to the dentist, but I'm like super fucking terrified of the dentist. I watched this movie when I was younger called The Dentist. And I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's like a horror movie of this guy who tortures his patients and shit. But it caused a phobia. Hence why there is the conspiracy that every horror movie is a psyop, a miniature psyop. That the whole point of horror movies are to psyop and make everyone afraid of everything, which I kind of agree with that conspiracy. Psyop Cinema. Go check out their channel. They get into it. But I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe. Lammy, tell him goodbye. I didn't think that one subject would be a whole episode, but there you go. Goodbye. See you guys.